Welcome back, virtual audience. We're here live in Las Vegas at 2011 NAB show. We're broadcasting live from the South Hall lobby area, and we're bringing to you great content and trying to give you a taste of this fantastic NAB show event, again here live from Las Vegas. Got a great special interview here. I've got Ramki sitting with me from Prime Focus Technologies. He's the president and founder of this company, and he's got some great new technologies that we'd love to talk about. Ramki, really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to share some thoughts with us.
No, pleasure is mine, and thanks for hosting me.
Wonderful. So tell our virtual audience a little bit about Prime Focus Technologies and what you're here to do at NAB Show.
Prime Focus Technologies is a multi-platform content operations company. So we actually manage the content operations for broadcasters, studios, and content owners.
Wonderful. So multi-platform, Ramki, we've heard that term here many times with our speakers. Tell us what it means from your perspective at Prime Focus.
I think if you really look at it, and in this show, it's appropriate to talk about broadcasters and people sort of fundamentally putting content on television, and they're all staring on new opportunities and new devices that they can kind of build in. They have new applications to put on an iPad or such devices, right? So suddenly, they're kind of dealing with a situation that they're not dealing with linear formats anymore. They're dealing with non-linear formats.
Okay.
And when you talk about non-linear formats, comes with a whole lot of complexity and so on and so forth.
Sure.
That if you look at it as an afterthought, it's very expensive. You'd rather not do it. And I think not doing it is not an option either.
Right.
So that's exactly where we kind of have a very integrative view, a unified view to how you sort of acquire content, how you process content, and how you deliver content.
Right.
And I think that's kind of really where we are sort of engaged with customers, that we're saying put content at the center of your business,
right,
and run all your processes around that. So there is a lot of concurrency. Previously you used to do things sequentially. It was slow. It was very cost prohibitive.
Right.
Now you put it in the center, run concurrently, run geographically, get geographical teams to work together.
Sure.
And so you're able to collaborate better, and you're able to sort of cater to newer content for your multi-platform audiences that are waiting. So
Gotcha.
I think what Prime Focus Technologies essentially does that is brings in a unique technology,
okay,
and builds services around it.
Wonderful.
So at some level we give a managed service to a content owner.
Gotcha. Now, what you've described in terms of putting content at the center, that's another theme I think we see here at NAB Show. It's all about the content, right, and how technology can enable the delivery of that content in better ways for the end user and in more efficient ways for broadcasters to bring that to market. How does your technology get delivered to your clients? How do they use Prime Focus solutions?
So I think the way we've constructed that is interesting, because the way we built it as a shared infrastructure. So it is cloud-based.
Wonderful.
Right? And when I say cloud-based, I know people pop up and say, oh, cloud is great, but it's not secure. It doesn't suit my workflows. And that's when we kind of have a very unique model called the hybrid cloud model.
Okay, tell us about that.
So the hybrid cloud model is one where content can still remain within the perimeter of the client's building.
Okay.
And yet still they get the benefit of the shared infrastructure.
So their existing servers and infrastructure.
Existing servers and infrastructure, storage, existing sort of media processing elements, workflow elements, all of that is sort of there, whereas the more expensive management tools are hosted. So the cost of ownership of this technology is dramatically lower than putting it all in one building.
Wonderful.
And kind of managing it all by yourself.
Wonderful.
And this also applies because most broadcasters have sites across the country as well. Sure. So you anyway take this to a data center and kind of let all your offices sort of access that in any case. So it kind of caters to the digital workflows, file-based workflows for the multi-platform in a very unique way. And I think we've already seen a lot of interest. We have one of the largest sort of broadcast network in India, owned by News Corporation.
Okay, sure.
The News Corp owned network called Star TV is already adopted this model, and they have right from production to play out for across the platforms integrated on one platform.
Wonderful.
And sort of clearly sort of dramatic savings in cost. Pretty much they're able to fulfill multi-platform at absolutely no additional cost than what it makes to kind of make the content available on television.
So let me make sure I'm getting this right. They get a better solution, they're more effective at delivering their content, and it doesn't cost them anymore?
It costs them just the same what they were spending before, but you're able to make content available on your avenues.
Wonderful.
So, and give me an example, right? So if you were to take content and say, I got to put it in Hulu, right?
Right.
It's a very classical sort of requirement.
Sure.
And Hulu has some very specific metadata requirements and packaging requirements and so on and so forth.
Okay.
That if you were to do it as an afterthought, you'll say, oh, this is the money that I'm going to spend on preparing that content to make it available on Hulu. See, am I going to make that money right now, or can I make the money? Am my cash flows sort of matching there?
Right.
And whereas if you take a unified approach, we're completely reducing, we're kind of bringing the cost of putting on Hulu from this much to this much.
Gotcha. So the incremental cost drops significantly.
Significantly.
Wonderful.
And plus the fact that it is shared infrastructure, which pretty much sort of, we deliver at no additional cost,
Right.
but you're actually getting, 20, 30 more deliverables.
Wonderful.
At the same thing that you put on television.
Wonderful.
Which is a very, very, it means that, you're changing the way broadcasters are working, but hey, nothing, there's no free meal there. So that, to that extent, there is that effort of just reorganizing things a bit.
Gotcha, wonderful. So what I love about the hybrid model is the client gets leverage out of their existing infrastructure that they put in place, that their workflow is designed around. They don't have to change their entire business operation, but then they get all these enhanced benefits from the cloud of that shared service model where they can tap in, and that helps connect all of their operations and make the entire process more seamless.
That's correct, and that's where it's a very good enterprise IT software sitting on top of it.
Right.
Where you're able to kind of exactly look at what's happening where, and notifications. There's no sort of assumptions of what is happening. There's no phone calls that you got to do to kind of check on statuses.
Right.
So it's a very seamless sort of workflow environment that is done. And the interesting thing is every business, every customer is unique.
Okay.
So we adapt the workflow to make sure that it works right for them, and we also kind of work on some of the other problems on the cloud that, the reliability, right? And we also have worked very, very consciously on the reliability quotient of making that cloud-based service more reliable.
Okay.
And we actually deliver SLAs on that infrastructure.
Really? That's
so
great.
it's not that, it's good, it's cost effective, but you know what? I can't assure you of stuff.
So it's not just a login, you're going to provide services around that to help ensure that I get the most value out of your
and
platform.
on an SLA, and you can
Right.
bind me to a service SLA.
That's fantastic. Is that a fairly unique approach in your business?
I think so.
Or for
I think
cloud-based
so.
systems
I
generally?
think so, and that's one of the big concerns people have on cloud as well.
Okay.
That, I don't know who else is using that technology, and I don't know when I will get my output.
Right.
Here we're guaranteeing output. And most interestingly is the services component.
Okay.
Okay, and we do that on a global digital pipeline because
Okay.
we have offices across Vancouver, Los Angeles, London, multiple cities in India.
Right.
We're able to bring the workforce together. We're also able to deliver a available and a cost-effective services model.
Fantastic.
That
For
actually
global
kind of-
corporations,
it's a global
whenever
corporation.
they need that service.
That
Right.
actually is I think the icing on the cake, if you will.
Fantastic, because today's media enterprises are global. They've got operations all over, 24/7 content cycle, right? So you can able to deliver services wherever they need that, whenever they need it.
That's correct.
Fantastic.
And because of the file-based workflows, geographical boundaries are completely collapsed because you're not kind of limited to that physical material where the content is sitting, and everything revolves around the physical material. Because it's a file,
Right.
it's available, and that's just as every other enterprise in other markets sort of have leveraged that.
Sure.
Banking or insurance, everybody has leveraged that. Your payroll is getting processed somewhere else.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't that be a reality in a media enterprise? And we're making that happen today.
It's a proven model in other industries,
Yes.
and you've adapted that to the media space.
Absolutely,
To
and
their
have tools,
unique workflows.
Have tools to be able to make that a reality.
Wonderful. Where is Prime Focus located at the exhibits here at NAB Show?
It's on the South Lower Hall,
Okay.
10205.
Great.
That's exactly the location where we are. Love to kind of get some of your virtual viewers to actually take time and come by and learn
Great.
more. We'd be happy to share more information,
Great.
walk them through the technology and the services, and spend more time with them.
Great, Ramki. That sounds fantastic. And where can folks find more information about you on the web?
Our website, www.primefocustechnologies.com.
Great.
That's exactly where you find more information about us. Some of the recent wins that we've had, and people can kind of find more information about that as well.
Super, fantastic. Well, Ramki, again, we appreciate your time. I know you've got a busy day working with customers and others in your booth and so forth across the show. Would you like to leave our audience with any final thoughts about Prime Focus?
No, I think Prime Focus per se is an integrated visual entertainment services company. So apart from all the goodness that I talked about, we also work end-to-end in the content creation cycle as well.
Great.
So we have a very large content creation sort of practice where we provide creative services to customers. We've done a number of very active in the 3D space. So we do a lot of 2D to 3D conversion.
Okay.
So we worked on 7 Hollywood titles last year.
Really? That's great.
Ending with Narnia that came out in December. And so we have a very interesting, very unique 2D to 3D conversion services practice.
Wonderful.
Very strong on the visual effects side that studios use us for. Our services have gone into Tron, Avatar, and movies like that.
That's great.
And again, we work with broadcasters, we work with advertising agencies as well. So we are an integrated sort of visual entertainment services company. But what we're specifically sort of doing at NAB is talk the broadcast side of the story.
Of course.
Both on the content management and platform operation side of the story.
Wonderful, fantastic. Well, again, Ramki from Prime Focus Technologies. Check them out here in the Lower South Hall at Las Vegas Convention Center, and on the web, of course, primefocustechnologies.com. Ramki, we appreciate your time today. Thanks for sharing something about your company with us.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. Thank you.
That's right.
Okay, great.